My name is Chris Dudzinski, and I'm married to Christy Dudzinski. We have two wonderful kids, Nick, who is 18 years old, and Maddie, who is 10. For the past 7 years, Dream City Church has just been a support for not only me, but our families, and we love it here, and we couldn't imagine being anywhere else. It was when I was about 22 years old that I really started focusing on my career, and I was engaged to Christy. So I've got this whole idea of life, and it's going to my plans. And then Christy at that time was unfaithful. She had an affair while I was doing everything I could do to get our life together. Yeah, it hurt. It hurt really bad when I found out. It actually destroyed me, so I had to make a choice. And so, I chose Christy. And so we got married and we started living life together. And so years are going by and I still have this hurt inside of me. And in no time, my hurt actually had a party. And it invited depression. It invited anxiety. And then fear came along and loneliness, and I had to do something about it. And unfortunately, I didn't choose God. But I had to come up with something that was going to take the pain away and numb it. And so I developed a problem. And this problem had to deal with alcohol. I became an alcoholic. And just not any alcoholic, I was a functioning alcoholic. I remember actually coming to Dream City Church with alcohol, whether it was in my socks or in my blazer. And so I'm living this one life and acting this other life. And Christy would have discussions with me about my drinking. I'm not really a pleasant person to be around. Arguing with Christy all the time. I'm not there for my kids. I'm disappearing a lot. I was placed in 3 rehab facilities to try and get some help. I'm dumping our checking account on alcohol and gentlemen establishments. I was traveling and I had no accountability, and I'm closing bars down all over the country. And it was that time I started having suicidal thoughts. So there was one night I remember, I ended up going to Dream City Church. I grabbed one of the chairs and I'm sitting out in the grass, and I'm just staring at the church and I'm arguing with God. And then all of a sudden the security guard by the name of John Franklin comes up. He pulls up a chair next to me and he starts talking to me. He starts listening. He tells me what God's done in his life. He started praying with me, and I could really relate to John. So I remember now going to church, and Pastor Luke is talking, and it was probably one of my most favorite sermons. He was talking about the pit. And, pits can be deep, pits can be wide. It's hard to get out of a pit in life. And I'll never forget how he ended it. You may be in a pit in your life, but only you determine whether it's a pit stop or a pit stay. And for so many years, I was just stuck in this pit. And that night, I really made a commitment to get out of the pit. Because I had to not only prove to my wife, but I also had to prove to myself and my family that I was really serious about, this recovery thing and finding freedom from alcohol. So the more and more I went to celebrate recovery, I started feeling at ease. You see, I never had the tools. I never reached out to anybody. There's all types of ways we self-medicate. There's all types of ways that we hurt from in life. Depression, anxiety, codependency, overeating, anger, relationship issues. But this ministry actually gives people hope. It gave me hope. It saved my life. So next month, Christy and I are coming up on our anniversary, and we'll be married for 25 years. I'm also actually celebrated last month, 3 years from being addicted to alcohol. I enjoy being sober now. My kids enjoy me being sober. I'm having a blast being a dad. I'm approachable. I love people. I love to be around people. I mentioned earlier where all these things that I went through in life, how nothing ever happened to me. I was never really thrown in jail or thrown in prison. But now that I think about it, I was actually in prison. I was in my own prison. There might be somebody here listening to me today that is got this prison inside your heart. You've got this prison inside your mind that nothing's ever going to change. This Easter, there's a reason why Jesus died on the cross. It's to save people like myself. It's to save people like you. Today, your prison can be broken.